Alright, there we go. Might have a bit of a cough, that's fine. Look, chat. Everything that the night touches is my kingdom. Hello everybody, I am Rip, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail. Sorry if I have a bit of a cough right now. Didn't have it before, but I apparently have it now. By the way, it's been a bit. Let me get my water. There we go. Now, last we left off, we arrived in Tuliolo and are beginning the Rite of Succession. And yes, I decided to change out my outfit to the more traditional Viper garb that you see in the trailer. That said, the swords are still chain swords. Because why? Because they're cool. Anyways, I know I said I've been wanting to do more streams lately, and I wanted to back on Sunday, but then I got sick with a fever. And sometimes you just don't plan for these things. Are you all ready to leave? Then onward to Kazumauka. Open the way!
Kazumauka, the land of rainbow terraces. It commands the gaze of all who visit without fail. The many-colored marvel. An endless torrent of water cascades over sheer cliffs to shape the wetlands below. To its relentless flow, all life must yield. Together with Wuklamat, we proceeded along the marshy trail, a road upon which the Dawn Servant and his comrades once traveled.
Look at those falls. Even from this distance, you can feel the weight of that water.
The Isle of Ham was impressive, but as you can see, Tuliyola does not want for natural wonders.
The ground is swampy, so watch your step. You wouldn't want to fall into a bog.
I won't. I told you I've been here before. Come on. Okanu isn't much farther.
Three, two. Damn it. There is no stopping the third promise, is there? A good thing she has Anvil to keep her from getting lost. This grumbling, he's certainly there for her. Everyone should be so lucky to have such a loyal childhood friend. Right, let's get moving. If we continue along this road, we should find ourselves in the village lot before long. Ah, everyone has arrived. and none the worse for wear. Except for a certain third promise who slipped in the mud despite my explicit warnings. Hey, I asked you not to say anything! Anyway, this is the Hanu Hanu village. This is the Hanu Hanu village I was telling you about. Okhanu. It's like our friend said. The people are in no mood for festivities. I can only assume they are still recovering from the damage wrought by the storm. Indeed. Well, let's do what we came to do and find this elector. Oh, Kali! Oh, what now? It's a Hanu greeting. Surely you heard it the last time you were here. Well, I was busy enjoying the festival. Greetings to the third promise and her entourage! I, Zanuhali, welcome you to Okhanu! As elder of my people, I shall also be fulfilling the duties of elector during a rite of succession. So, our idea about the electors was correct. We just do as Papa said and retrace his path from the saga. I'm ready. Give me the feet and test my work. All in good time, all in good time. In fact, I came to let you know that we are not quite ready to begin. For the moment, please enjoy the hospitality of our village. Should we poke around a bit then? We might pick up some clues about the feet. You know, prepare ourselves. That's surprisingly prudent of you. What? You think I'm being too cautious? No, I'm impressed as all. You admire and respect your father, who was prone to decisive action. So I expect you to rush in first and ask questions later, or never. I do look up to Papa, but you should know that he has a pragmatic side too. The head of reason is a thinker who takes time to consider all the possibilities. With the long naps he takes these days, though, the head of resolve is less restrained by his wisdom. I can't fault you for thinking that. I can't fault you for thinking that's all there is to him. But there's more to the Dawn Servant than you've seen. More to the Dawn Servant you've seen thus far. I should like to speak with the head of reason one day. Ah, well, I'm sure you'll catch him awake soon enough, though. To return to the subject at hand, you wish to take a look around Okhanu, then? Do some groundwork before the feat begins? Something like that. I mean, I could probably pass the test with my eyes closed, but it'll keep us busy while we're waiting. But Lamont has survived a bit. As Elder Zanuhali is the resident of this village, learning more about it can only improve our chances in this feat. I want to suggest a division of forces. For instance, Ernville, Alize, and Kryl could concentrate on the southern half of the settlement. While Loklomot, Falzon, and myself will handle the northern half. Sounds good to me. Oh. I see that house. If it weren't broken down, I swear it almost looked egg-shaped. The gaping hole in the wall and missing portion of the roof are clearly the work of the storm's powerful winds. repairs appear to be ongoing. Wait a minute. I swear, most of these buildings look like eggs a little bit. Oh, what about the storm? I've never seen the likes of it before. With the supplies and the help the dogs have sent, we're making progress repairing and building our homes. But while roofs and walls can be patched, there's so much else that was lost for good. Oh. A lot of houses are still damaged. The Hondo I've spoken to are not their usual cheery selves. The storm broke more than wooden reeds. There must be something I can do to help them. I'm going to look around a bit more. Dried shrunken bundles suggest the reeds were harvested some time ago. Come on. Woven from reeds, this boat-like vessel is reminiscent of a bird. The beak and feathered tail, in particular, stand out. This boat must be woven from the same reeds I've seen gathered into bundles here and there. The plants hold both practical and cultural significance to the Hanu, then. Hello, can you all hear me? I'm told they're ready to receive us now. Come to the large building in the south of the village. On the my way! You ought to hurry over too.
No sign of Zorolja or that oversized lout.
How much easier it would be if Soralja were to fail here. But that isn't likely to happen.
Honored guests, I am Zanuhali, Elder of the Hanu.
I'm still using the voice I had before.
I am also an elector, charged with judging which among you is worthy of ascending the throne. Without further ado, let us talk of the feat.
Not so fast. Surely you couldn't begin without us.
Speaking of the oversized lots, how did we not hear his
You
footsteps?
made it after all.
Seriously, how did we not hear him coming?
No need to fuss. There is no time limit for this challenge. Now, if you would allow me to proceed. It is here, in Okanu, where my people forged a bond with the Dawn Servant during our own chapter of the Tuli Yolal saga. In homage to those events, I have prepared for you the Feat of Reeds.
Reeds seem to be of great importance to the Hanu. I wonder what this feat entails.
Maybe we avenge someone's dog.
We use reeds in every part of our lives, be it as food or weaving material. But look around the nearby paddies, and you will see that this season, our crops are failing. How fortunate, then, that my appointment to Elector coincided with this predicament. For surely, those who aspire to be Dawn Servant would find the matter of an ailing harvest a mere trifle to resolve.
Aye, well, it is indeed the duty of a ruler to address the people's woes.
Exactly, exactly. Do well in this, and you will earn my keystone.
Yeah. Aiding in agriculture, eh?
Why bother mucking about in the mud when we can take the stone by force?
Oh, mercy me! You are a hot-headed fellow, Bakul Jaja. Some electors may enjoy going toe-to-toe with scrappers like you, but I refuse to entertain your base instincts. Arrangements have been made. Should you attempt to engage a feat giver in combat without their consent, word of your immediate disqualification will be sent to the palace. If you're still feeling feisty, then by all means, draw your weapon.
Wow.
This contest is presided over by cowards. There's no sport in fighting you.
Then we can return to the business of earning my keystone. The feat of reeds is begun. Claimants, I wish you the best of luck.
The clever kitty crossed the seas to study foreign novelties. He might know tricks we don't. Tricks we can use.
What of Little Miss Mittens?
You know the answer to that. Compared to the first and second promise, she's a distant third. Not even in the running.
Then we see eye to eye on this, brother. Being Bakul Jaja so long with me has rubbed off on you. These allies of hers, though, they might be a problem.
Damn it! I'm just as qualified to be here as they are. I'll show them.
Easy now. There's no time limit, remember? Let's keep calm and think things through.
Right. You're right. I won't win against that lumbering Vidrol by losing my head.
I don't know the first thing about farming, but if there's a way to save the harvest and help the Hanu, then we're going to find it. Bakul Jaja eat his words. Understanding the nature of the problem will be the key to solving it. We need to examine the reeds themselves, and then deduce the cause of their poor condition. Erinville, will you take us to the fields where the reeds are grown? Of course, follow me. You can all stand back. I'll get to the bottom of this problem in no time. Give me strength. Let's all scour the fields and help our bold leader identify anything unusual. The four people with... the four very smart people. As I know how I described, the reeds appear to be wilted and unhealthy. Water contains no obvious contaminants. It looks fresh and clear at a cursory glance. Hmm? Small frog catches your eye. Strangely lackadaisical. Doesn't even bother to hop when it eventually scurries away. The soil in the paddies is as one would expect. Rich in color and suitably moist, not dry nor flaky. Seen enough? I'll call everyone together and we can share our discoveries. Well, what do we think? Any obvious problems? Agreed. The waters look to be of good quality, as is the mud in which the reeds have been planted. The frogs and insects are unusually torpid. This suggests the problem is affecting not only the reeds, but also the creatures which live among them. Could something invisible to the naked eye be polluting the water? We will need an alchemist to know for certain. Don't have much to add about the fields, but something else occurs to me. When you're describing how the creatures seemed lifeless, I couldn't help but be reminded of all the listless villagers. It's not a terrible tragedy, I know, but there's another reason for their flagging spirits, I believe. Go on. The festival. This is traditionally an occasion for celebration and renewal, so without it, the Hanu are struggling even more to recover. Last time I visited, the village was in the middle of festivities. You'll never see the Hanu more joyful and alive. It's an indispensable part of their culture, and its absence will only compound their woes. So I say we help them put on their festival, give them a reason to cheer in these sad times. Who knows? Maybe fixing one problem could lead us to a solution for the other. Stranger things have happened. Right? I fail to see the relation between festivals and fields. There's no point too hasty in dismissing the idea. Things which seem unrelated can later prove to be connected in surprising ways. True, and being bereft of ideas as we are, any proposal is worth entertaining. I suppose. Besides, this is Muklamar's journey. It's only right that we follow her lead. Thanks, everyone! By the way, does anyone know where the festival float is? It's a boat woven from reeds that looks like a bird. Yeah, me and Albino saw it. In that big building to the north? Let's go and see it. There's much less debate when I'm traveling alone. Yes, this is the float I remember. It does not appear... Does it not appear somewhat damaged to you? We should take a closer look. It's missing an eye, first off. Oh dear, one of the bird's eyes seems to be missing a gemstone. These tail feathers have seen better days. I swear, the colors were a lot brighter the last time I saw them. Oh, that's definitely broken. How they left this great big vessel without any of the boat... No, without all the carrying poles intact? Well, I think we can all agree this bird boat is in dire need of repairs. Now, how do we go about fixing it? What is going on here? You're admiring your festival float. It's a shame it's in such a poor state due to the recent storm, I gather. Yes. Wait. Yes, we had to leave it exposed while we ushered our people to safety. With the float in this condition, there can be no lifting of wings. No Ihihana. Ihihana! That's what the festival is called. I want to help you hold it. Have you not seen our village? Homes are ruined. We're struggling to make repairs, and you want us to hold a harvest festival? I know how it sounds, but giving into misery never improved anyone's situation. Celebration of joy and growth may help give you the strength to work through this tragedy. The role of the festival leader is mine this year, and there's nothing I would like more than to lift everyone's spirits. But we don't even have enough materials to repair the float. We need a box, an Alpaca for the missing eye, Uripo wood for the poles, and feathers from the winds chosen to adorn the tail. Two of these I know. Alpaca is a type of precious stone used in arcane equipment. Uripo wood is essential for crafting ceremonial instruments. These chosen feathers, however... The winds chosen is the victor of a competition, in which the contestants see who can blow a feather the furthest using wind magics. And that's something we have a problem right now. We Hanu are gifted in employing such airy sorceries, but expend a great deal of mana when doing so. We are soon exhausted by the effort, and having no reeds to eat will only make it harder. I think I understand. Your vibrant reeds grow quickly and vigorously, so much so that they stifle the development of nearby plants. They must be potent. They must be a potent source of energies you lack. They must be a potent source of the energies you naturally lack. They are indeed. Owing to the poor harvest this year, we've been left enervated. And if we cannot gather the correct materials as dictated by custom, we cannot repair the festival float. Oddly enough, we may have just stumbled upon a solution. The winds chosen would, by necessity, have a natural gift for manipulating magical energies, which means any feathers taken from the victor should be high in ethereal conductivity. The float's construction also requires a stone used in arcane equipment, as well as timber favored for ceremonial tools. The demand for such specific materials must have an underlying reason. Right, continue on. I wonder this boat is actually a secret weapon for smiting the Hanu's foes. The float must also function as an arcane device. Precisely what I was thinking. This boat of reeds is in fact an arcane focus of some kind. A focus? For what? Oh, Ihihana is a harvest festival, isn't it? That must mean the float was made to encourage healthy crops. So if we repair the boat and hold the festival, its arcane powers might fix what's wrong with the reeds. We won't know until we try. But 'tis a sound theory. Celebration, prayer, ritual ceremonies, these have all been known to elicit miraculous effects. Wait. The float is a tool for magic? This is the first I'm hearing of it. In the beginning, it may well not have been. After a good harvest year, there would be no reason to change it. But when the harvest was poor, new adornments were likely added. But those who performed the labor may have imbued their work with arduous hopes for a brighter future. Through years of trial and error, the Hanu would have refined their festival float into a focus for harvest prayers. Incredible. I know you're practically fainting from hunger, but reviving Ihihana really does sound like the solution to all your woes. And I promise we'll do everything in our power to help you. I'm still not convinced about this focus business, but accept your aid nonetheless. I will introduce you to the shipwright who's been maintaining the float these last few years. He's replaced both the eyes and the poles before, so he should know where and how to procure what we need. Then allow Alize and I to acquire the feathers. We will encourage the people of Okhanu to gather and vie for the title of Winds Chosen by sharing with them our own reserves of mana. I'll go with you. I carry some alchemical brews that may afford the same effect. So it's me, Kroil, and Wooklamot then. Three of us will visit the shipwright then. I'm still struggling to get her voice right. Not without me. I've worked hard to fix the float as best I can, and the responsibility is mine after all. I've not introduced myself, have I? My name is Linu Hanu. Linu Hanu. Nice to meet you, Linu Hanu. And certainly, let's all go together. Thanks to Wooklamot, we've found ourselves a promising way forward. Experience and knowledge are valuable assets, but there is something to be said for following one's instincts. The shipwright's name is Wook Ivu. He's a Zabral who only moved to Cosmalca a few years ago, but has since mastered our customs to an almost frightening degree. He's especially strict when it comes to manners, so make sure to offer him a proper Hanu greeting. We wouldn't want to offend him right before asking a favor. Greeting. A proper Hanu greeting? Oh, that one! Don't worry, I remember how it goes. And we shouldn't have any problems. Let's head to Okbekbi, to the east of here. I imagine the pronunciations are only going to get worse from here. This is Ukbekbi, the village of all. Those who dreamt into Kazamalka from Tuyolol and elsewhere are welcome to live here alongside the Hanu. As for Ivu, He lives and works in the house of waters high, at the top of that large tree nearby. Follow me, but I should warn you, the climb up the stairs can be challenging.
What do you want with me?
Right. The greeting. Oh, Kali!
Oh, Kali! Good. You brought your manners with you. When you know Kanu, do as the Hanu do. For a country as diverse as ours, the preservation of harmony demands that we respect the cultures of all peoples who call it home.
Well, that explains your familiarity with Hanu customs. And you speak truth, of course. To live together means to learn about each other.
Ah, I appreciate an open mind. In fact, I get the sense we've met before.
There's comedy music. Something funny's about to happen.
You're Wuklamat. Oh, what an unexpected honor for old Wukevu. Here I am prattling on about manners, and I've gone and insulted the third province herself.
Oh my god.
There is no excuse for this betrayal of etiquette. Please, take up your axe and claim my impudent head.
Will not.
What the?
Keep your head. I hate formalities anyway, so forget about it, alright?
All right then, consider it forgotten.
How prompt.
This guy is a roller coaster.
We're actually here about the Ihihana float. It's in bad shape, and we need you to craft new carrying poles and a new eye. I'm told you work with Uyuipo wood and a certain kind of stone? Abokisha?
That I do. But while I would like nothing more than to offer my services, I just used the last I had of both those materials. My lumber in particular went to fixing homes damaged by the recent storm. I'll need 10 days or so to restock.
We can't wait that long. If you tell me where to go, I'll gather them myself.
What? Send the third promise out on an errand like some common lackey? That's utterly unconscionable. A gross violation of social protocol.
I told you not to worry about such things.
All right then. I shan't worry a whit. What's with your Hanu friend there?
I am festival leader this season, and have come along to oversee the float's repair. As strange as it may sound, Wuklamat and her friends believe the float is an arcane focus, meant to encourage the growth of our struggling reeds.
Too many Hanu have forgotten, it seems. But that is indeed the true purpose of the lifting of wings. Your education is impressive, Third Promise.
That was me and Alpino's speculation.
maybe a little.
Allow me to show you where to procure Uyuipo. We can leave the Abokisha to your friends, I presume? Take yourself to Cave Kikitola, or thereabouts, and you should find the stones you need.
Alright then.
I've been there once or twice. I can guide you.
That should save us some time.
All right then, let's get moving.
Chosen one of your rivals is making progress.
Ihiana, you say? Should our first choice fail to deliver, it might be wise to let this play out. The third-rate promise is making herself useful after all.
So it says the fourth rate, not even a promise. Cave Kikitola is southwest of Okanu. Return to the village first, then head there on foot. I might be remembering differently, but I felt like Kryle was the one to gather the lumber and Wuklamot came with you. I don't know, I might be... I am misremembering, and it's been a while since I've done this. But it does make sense for this. Either that or Kryle went with Lamont and I had to do this myself. Southwest of here, was it? Let us be on our way. I do remember that you spent a lot of time with Lamont, whether you wanted to or not. Kikitola, as promised, home to many deadly creatures. Venture inside if you feel confident, but I will conduct my own search out here. You can spot raw Abokika by its green-hued glimmer. Bring anything matching that description to me. I shall help scour the inside of the cave then. You make the west half, I'll take the east. Lick the mud water. Oh, so it was just lights. Oh, here we go. Ah, we found the minerali. I picked up the ground near the entrance, but found nothing. Would you have better luck inside the cave? Yes, this is Alpaca. Although with Cryos' contribution, we have more than enough for our needs. The stones you brought shine very brightly. I thank you both. He would have been happy to know we were putting things right. Truth be told, a good friend of mine was meant to be festival leader for this year's Ihana. But when the big storm hit, he did not survive. It fell to me to carry on in his stead. That was why you agreed to Woklamat's request, despite your initial reluctance. Yes, it hurt to hear, but she was right. Though I must mourn, I cannot let my grief consume me. Her words made me realize that the path to my recovery, our recovery, is already laid out before me, and I will walk it for myself and for my friend. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Please, rest assured that we've taken your plight to heart. I'm certain our companions are procuring the other materials as we speak. Everything will come together, and the Hanu shall host a splendid uplifting festival. That we shall! With that, let's return and deliver the Alpaca into whatever's waiting hands.
I should have heard Promise and her mighty swings, and collected some suitable logs for Uyapo, and with the Alpaca. Yes, these are excellent samples, a good quantity too. At this stage, you've likely surmised that the lifting of wings encourages the crops to grow. But not exactly how, eh? Well, you're in for a treat. If all goes to plan, the results should be spectacular. Now, to get to work crafting these pieces for the front, you use an assistant for us in the arcane arch to enhance the Uyapo's productivity. Then I'd be delighted to help. Everyone else should be back to Okano. We'll join you at the floats once the work here is complete. I want the bird, but there's the one I want a bird. Sorry. I had to do that at least once before the end of the stream. Gathering the Uyapo was a trial in of itself. At first, Wakivo criticized everything I did. He suddenly yelled, I've spoken ill of the third promise and must punish myself, and proceeded to slam his head into an Uyapo tree. I told him not to worry about it. Again. It's like stuffing out a candle. He's an odd one, that's for sure. At least we've seen to the poles and the no eye. Now we just have to wait for the feathers from the twins. Oops. There we go. We should get some rest before the excitement begins.
over there, by the float. Isn't that the third promise? And the rumors are true. She's trying to complete the feat of dreams by reviving Ihana. The festival is a prayer for healthy crops. But does she honestly believe that will be enough to save our harvest? The second promise, meanwhile, barely blessed the fields before leaving Okahanu altogether. Maybe we asked too much of our young claimants. Oh, I wouldn't be too quick to count Kona out. A friend of mine overheard him muttering by the reeds something about what needs to be done. Is that so? Perhaps we'll get another of his innovation. Maybe perhaps we'll get to see another one of his innovations firsthand. It does sound like our corner. One look at the reeds, and he's already needed to think of, and it was all he needed to think of a solution. Be that as it may, our own solution is nearly ready. Indeed. As soon as the others get back, our long-awaited festival can begin. Took some doing, but we managed to gather competitors to vie for the title of Winds Chosen. The winner was only too happy to donate his feathers. You should have seen it. He called forth an incredible gust that sent his feathers sailing for miles. We had to turn ourselves, but it's more difficult than it looks. Our antfill swirled in the air for a moment before landing on his foot. I'm a gleaner. Magic is not part of our training. As for us, we bought the wooden gemstone replacements crafted by Wakifu. All that's left is to attach them. Has it been decided who will ride the float? Papa was the guest of honor the last time I was here. I remember being surprised when they could even lift the thing with its hulking weight on top of it. The rider must be a personage of great esteem, which is why an invitation is usually extended to the Dawn Servant. This time, however, I have another in mind. Or, who is it? Our beloved Ihana, the lifting of wings, is only being held because of you and your companions. Thus do I nominate you, Wolflamot, as our guest of honor. Huh? Me? This won't want me to be seasick, will it? I don't think so. Then why anchor? I could hardly refuse a request from one even more enthusiastic about the festival than me. I'd be delighted to ride your float. Thank you, Wuklamot. I have rules for the rest of you as well. We'll be carrying the festival float in a slow procession towards Cousin Alpaca and Cousin Naoki, where the sacred likeness of Kisha here. It is ensconced. The language here. even the stuff that's actual English sometimes. What I'd like you to do is clear the path of dangerous wildlife. The procession can move along unimpeded. Consider it done. You expect me to sit still until Wook Evil has finished with the float? Let me come along and help with the clearing. As you know, I'm not much for fighting. I'll stay behind and assist Wook Evil with the repairs. If you aren't sure where you need to go, the path I spoke of begins at the south of the village and branches off to the east. That will lead you across the bridges to the stride of the sun. And we shall see to the clearing of it. And we shall see to clearing it end to end.
as Li Huhanu said. Cousin Naoki should be down this way. Then head off to the east when the path branches, and something about bridges and the stride of the sun. Anyway, let's split up and get to work. Once you've called all the threats you can find, we'll meet up in front of Kizagi. I feel like I am butchering these pronunciations. I'm sorry in advance to anyone who... I'm sorry in advance. You are a step ahead of us. This must be in the likeness of Kizaki. In Kishahi. The Hanu deity of the harvest. I was not expecting a flying whale. A whale? Why a whale of all things? Anyway, it said that Kishai here was worshipped on another continent. This ancient faith was then brought to Toral by the first Hanu. The Hanu migrated here from another continent? Mayhap the two do share a common ancestor. This is all very fascinating, but shouldn't we get back to Venu Hanu? You'll want to know the path is safe for the procession. Right, I need to ride on the float. I'll run ahead and tell him we're done here. I could have referenced the dungeon, but I didn't. Because I wanted to reference the other bird people. Meanwhile, at Okanu.
Not sure we heard you right, old man. Why don't you say that again?
As many times as you'd like. The third promise tasked me with repairing this float, and I'll not relinquish it to an uncultured brute like you. Much less one that can't even manage a simple greeting.
We wanted to handle this in a civilized way, but we're more than willing to kill you.
We have a two-headed problem. Yes, please hurry. She's on her way back already?
Stand back, Wukevu! I will protect the float!
Are you trying to be brave, little bird?
I could never have repaired the float alone. Not properly. But thanks to Wuklamat and her friends, we can hold Ihihana again! This is a priceless treasure! And as festival leader, I would die to protect it!
Very well, if that's what you want.
Everything into that blow.
Good. The better for you to understand the gulf between us.
But you need more lessons. We'll carve them into your mangy hide until you cry and beg forgiveness.
You sure about that?
Your brilliant plan was to steal the float and take the credit. The so-called blessed siblings are nothing but cheats.
Your scorn is sweet music. Come, weaklings. We'll crush you each in turn. Or all together, if you like.
You sure about that?
Calm yourself, Chosen One. If you fight in earnest, this will end in a massacre. What's more, we have word that our other prospect is on the verge of success.
Then it would be foolish to expend effort sweating nuts. Lucky for you. Eh?
Ugh, two heads. I see Mamuk still clings to that loathsome hope.
Talk to us, Third Promise. You're not dying, are you?
It'll take more than that to kill me. So, are we having this festival or not?
Yes! Yes, we are!
Happy Bourbon. You're so happy. Thank you for coming to our rescue. I tried to protect the float, but against that two-head, I may as well have not been there at all. Nonsense! You sold your grounds and brought us the time we needed to make it back. You were incredibly brave. I'll say. With that with that exciting interlude over, you'll be pleased to know that my repairs are finished as well. Before we commence the festival, however, it would be courtesy to inform the villagers that Ihihana will be held after all. Go forth, but don't forget your greetings. At this stage, I should hope the reminder is unnecessary. Oh, Callie! See, I remember. Oh, Tally! Thank you for letting me know. I would very much like to attend the festival, but the repairs should be finished as soon as possible. What to do? What to do? Pretty. Oh, wait. Oh, Kali! The festival's about to begin? What do you expect me to say? Besides, of course I'll be there! Bringing up the storm's aftermath may have been hard on all of us, but the lifting of wings is tradition! And a joyous one at that! I won't sit here brooding my days away! Give me a moment to get ready! Oh, Kali! What? The float is fixed? Our fallen friends would be glad to know that Ihana will soon be underway. They would have wanted us to honor them with celebration, not let their loss deter us from it. I must go and enjoy the festival for those who can, for those who no longer can. English is my first language, I swear. The Hanu were pleased to hear their festival was going on, I imagine. That is well. With your friends return, the lifting of wings can begin at last.
So few have come.
Patience. Once Ihihana gets underway, no Hanu will be able to resist joining in.
Just so. Ukewu knows well the heart of the Hanu. Have faith, Third Promise, and climb aboard the float. It is time for the lifting of wings.
Right. Off we go.
Ihihana is a prayer for bountiful harvest. But this is not its only meaning.
Okay, well, Clemata's actually really cute when she smiles like that.
It is also an exchange of pledges between rider and bearers. A commitment to a long and fruitful friendship.
Listen well, friends! The personage we bear today is Wuklamat, the savior of our beloved festival! Let your shoulders burn, or your feathers fall out, but do not even think of dropping her!
Arriba!
Ready and...
I could get used to this.
Will empty bellies stop you from joining in the fun? Come and help us carry the float!
Well, well, well. To see the day that Dawn's promised would ride our boat again. We've not had the honor since you were here, Gulul Jaja.
Right, we've enough bearers now. Onwards to Kozanuaki!
Watch well, for you are about to bear witness to the true glory of Ihihana. The float draws upon our life force, concentrating and amplifying the energy. Kishaihi then receives that energy and expels it in a great burst, where it showers down upon the land to replenish its vital currents.
As long as we're not summoning a primal, that's fine with me. Would you look at that?
It worked.
Like a literal charm.
The float really was helping the reeds.
That was amazing! To think that such a thing was even possible!
Should I have left the float behind like that? I'm so excited to see the reeds. Nothing to worry yourself over. My brethren have been swept up by festival fever. Last I saw, they were taking turns at carrying poles on the way back to the village.
Please, feel free to look over the fields and enjoy the sight of what you've accomplished. Wasn't all of them, but it was a good chunk.
Some of them still look a bit sickly.
I imagine even the harvest magic has its limits. If the Hanu continue their festival tradition year after year, though, the entire field should eventually recover.
Where does that leave us with the feet, then?
You've got nothing to fear on that account. Our situation could never have resolved itself. The revival of even a single reed would have served to demonstrate your commitment to the task. That you recognized the nature of the float and found a near-perfect solution in Ihihana proves your dedication. What's more, I don't think I've seen the festival produce such impressive results since I was a mere chirper. We have been lax in maintaining the float, diluting its magic and reducing Ihihana to hollow theater. But today's events remind us of the power in tradition.
Kona!
I was delayed by an unpleasant encounter, but it seems I arrived at a good time.
Go off.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
What? You just pour in some mystery liquid and problem solved?
Stagnant ether was to blame for the reed's poor condition. I assumed that was an alchemical concoction which enhances ethereal conductivity. It utilized the flowing water as an ethereal current, thereby promoting the transfer of life energies.
A method I could not have devised without the education I received at the studium and the cooperation of my Archon allies.
Archon?
Archon allies?
You see, Lamachi, this is why we need to embrace foreign knowledge and technology. Employed appropriately, they make light work of what would otherwise be arduous labor. There's no need to lug around heavy floats.
Well, you always were the clever one, brother.
Your approach was no less effective, Wuklamat. It achieved the same result.
Indeed it did. And you enjoyed the festival, yes?
I did. It was so much fun. Having visited your village before, I thought I knew everything about it.
One was innovative,
As
the
it
other was
turns out,
cultural.
I knew very little. About the reeds, about Ihihana. With all I've learned this time, I feel as though I've really come to know the Hanu. And I like you even more now than I did before.
I feel like you could sleep on their
The
bellies.
feeling is mutual. And it's not just you who had a lot to learn either. I'll never look at our float the same way again.
The two of you have exceeded expectations. Come forth and claim your stones.
I don't think either Wuklamot or Kona's strategies were more or less good or bad. Like, I thought they were both pretty good.
So this is what they look like.
Go on, set it in the tablet.
That's it. Like, one was scientific and innovative, the other was cultural, important to the people.
A perfect fit. That leaves 6 more.
And on to the next.
Not even a moment of celebration. That's Kona for you.
The third promise? You must join us for Ihihana next season. As Dawn Servant, of course.
Right. It's back to Tulihiola for now. Thank you for having us. I look forward to seeing you all again.
These are interesting times indeed.
Chats? Is it? Hold that thought.
The concoction was brewed by Kona himself. It's a test vial, but it should contain the same reagents.
Good work. We'll use whatever we must to win. For win we must.
Can I finish my thoughts? Okay, good. I think I might be developing a crush on Wuklamot a little bit. My journey has just started, and already I've met so many wonderful people. Whatever for one. He's a bit eccentric, but everyone could stand to be as respectful of other cultures as he is. Linu Hanu. It warmed my heart to see him honor his departed friend through Ihihana, and to help others do the same. I can't help but feel excited thinking who else I might meet over the course of the contest. Come on, let's head back to the Valley of Tay. I wonder, since I'm going through New Game Plus of Dawntrail, I wonder if I'll end up appreciating Dawntrail more on a second go around than I did when I first played it at launch on my own. Like, I'm not sure, but it's feeling like that. And just like that, we found an Elector and won our first Keystone. I knew I was right to trust your instincts. Come on, let's keep things going and march onwards to Urkelpacha. Chances are good we'll find an Elector there as well. Before we do anything, however, we should see what your opportunistic Pelu friend has to say. I've been waiting for what feels like days, and eaten enough of Brook Ibu's tacos to feed an army. What is it you'd like to know? Our main concern was confirming the state of the road ahead. As I recall, to reach Okapacha, we depart from the Arch of the Dawn and take the road west of at the first fork. Should we be wary of anything along the way? That is indeed the way to Okapacha. After the damage wrought by the recent downpour, however, we'll be doing more stumbling than walking. But don't take heart. When it comes to rugged terrain, we have a most dependable solution available. Come with me. May I introduce you to our most dependable companion, the Alpaca? Carl, we're going to kill people. These animals can traverse Okapacha's steep mountain trails as if they were gentle fields. All the while carrying heavy loads. Our merchants will be lost without them. So they'll fill much the same niche as our chocobos back home. You don't have alpacas in Eorzea? Alpacas are native to Dawntrail. Eorzea has its chocobos, and the eastern lands have their horses. I go to the trouble of breeding another pack beast in a place where it ill suits its qualities, and where it is not needed anyway. But must we write these little monsters? I get the impression you aren't fond of alpacas. When I was small, and being a bit naughty, I went around pulling on their wool. One of them spat on me, and it was the foulest stench you can imagine. I see. What do they like to ride? Alpacas bred as mounts are inquisitive and docile. Even those without experience find them easy to handle. We're really doing this then. So, was my information useful to you? Yes, very helpful, even if it wasn't what I wanted to hear. Good, I'll take my payment now. You want me to pay you? I guess I shouldn't expect as much from a Pelu merchant. Let's see what I have on me. The Pelu value the action of spreading joy through trade. As you should know, they take pride in making deals that benefit both parties. Here you go, a fair price for your fair advice. Yes, I made the trade with the third promise herself. My friends will never believe this. So I'll be on my way now. I wish you safe travels. Off you go then, and thank you. I better not get spat on again. You brought that on yourself. Remain calm and gentle, and so will they. I'm still not happy about this, but if we need to ride alpacas to reach Okapacha, then that's what we'll do. Alpaca my thanks then.
To rally poets of yore sang of a mountain, that would stand tall, even should all other lands sink beneath the sea. Indomitable and eternal, it arises from Urkopacha, the 100 peaks of time. Of all the beasts which crawl and fly, only the legendary Valigarmanda could hope to disturb the summit's serene majesty. Yet, with that flying calamity imprisoned by the Dawn Serpent, what great feat remains for those who would claim the throne?
Mighty mountain.
So this is Urkopacha. I've never actually been here before.
The air is so crisp and clear.
Mountains everywhere you look.
That one massive peak in particular has quite the presence. It puts me in mind of Som Al.
That is Workor Sormor, the tallest mountain in Yogg-Tural. Its sheer height makes it an imposing climb. But there are other reasons the ambitious keep their distance.
Oh? Do tell.
Where to begin?
Excuse me, but you're Wuk Lamat, are you not? I hadn't thought to encounter one of the Dawn's promise here of all places.
Hmm?
But I should introduce myself. I am Bol Nok, a weaver by trade.
Okay.
Well met, Bolnok. We're on our way to Watrunpelo.
Truly, I've just come from there, as it happens. I'd asked the Pelu Pelu who sell me their wool to give me a tour of their alpaca ranch. The head rancher and I shared a bottle of mezcal while he explained the finer points of wool production.
Mezcal, is that a local beverage?
It's an Urkopacha specialty, a spirit made from distilled agave heart juice.
Yes, and it must have done wonders for my mood, for I tripled my usual order of alpaca wool. They did offer me a discount, though, so it wasn't a bad deal in the end. But listen to me, boring you with my tedious stories. I will leave you before you are lulled to sleep. Goodbye, and safe travels.
Is he going to be a surprise tool that'll help us later?
Oh, silly me. I almost forgot to say the thing I actually wanted to say. Peace for Tural. I agree with your vision, Third Promise. You have my support in your bid for the throne.
I gather from his tale we would be foolish to underestimate Pelu Pelu merchants.
Yes, they do more than run the markets in Tuliyola. Pelu Pelu peddlers can be found everywhere in Tural, traveling from place to place on their sturdy alpacas. They are effusive and engaging speakers, and many's the customer who's been talked into spending more than they bargained for.
They won't find this customer so easily charmed.
Watrunpelo's down the path! Off the main road! Don't get lost!
It's right there!
A truck, a A people of small business savvy merchants. I feel like I'm in my element. This is it. Orkon Pello. Home of the Pelu Pelu. Oklamat should have arrived before us. That's not good. You've come all this way for the right of succession? Oh, so that means I'm exchanging words with the future Dawn servant. Please, the outcome was far from decided, but it is a possibility. How fortunate then that I deal in cloaks woven from especially luxurious alpaca wool. Such a garment would look magnificent draped over the shoulders of our budding ruler. And the nation's leader should dress her best for her adoring people, yes? Finery for our finest lady, that's right. Come on, third promise. My well-stocked shelves are but a few steps away. Finest lady? I like the sound of that. Right, I suppose a quick look wouldn't hurt. What did we just talk about? Annabelle, what did we do? Smooth talker does sound about right. A shitona from far off the after all. Northern winter is are bitterly cold affairs, I'm told. I cannot imagine how you survive them without a lovely warm cloak of quality alpaca wool. No, thank you. I'm not in need of new clothes at the moment. Neither is the third promise. Perhaps another time. Of course, of course. My shop door is always open. You were saying something about not being easily charmed. I was just... As I mentioned previously, the Palu people live for bringing happiness through trade. They won't cheat you or sell you defective goods. They will, however, disarm you with their deft turns of phrase, and unwitting customers like Wuklamat fall prey to this affable approach time and time again. Your only recourse is a clear and firm refusal. They won't pursue the matter should you make your disinterest plain. A valuable insight into the minds of the Pelu Pelu. Let us all take Arendvale's words of caution to heart. As an Uldan, I agree. Not my finest moment, I'll admit. But now that we're here, let's do what we came to do. Find the Elector. Allow me to propose a strategy then. Kyle, Alize, and I will speak with the merchants. Wuklamat, you and Arendvale might try approaching travelers and passers-by. Cousin, try to investigate any other establishments which catch your eye. Should we learn aught of use, let's relay it to the third promise. The Dawntrail Elector? Gone to our new face in town. Here for the right of succession, I take it. Me? I don't know. I don't much care who sits on the throne, so long as they keep Toral peaceful. People tend not to be in the mood to relax and sip our excellent mezcal once arrows and spears start flying, if you know what I mean. Speaking of which, would you like a cup? A joy shared is a joy double, I'd say. I'm good. Oh, right. Yes. You were asking about the Elector business. Being back freshly returned from my trading route, I've heard that there's a contest afoot, but not much else. Our head ledger, Tobli, could probably tell you more about it. Electors? Oh yes, I've heard all about the right to succession. They're looking to put a new ruler on the throne, eh? Personally, I'm rooting for Zaralja. If the First Promise wins, he'll look to expand our sphere of influence. That means access to more resources and more customers, in the thousands column potentially. So many new trading opportunities to spread happiness far and wide. Others have been coming around to my way of thinking, so I've begun crafting goods inspired by the resilient sun. Would you care to purchase something? No, I would not. Very well, you said you wanted to know about the Elector? I could help you, but I won't. I can tell you're no supporter of Zaralja or his policies. You're unique. Hello there, I'm Mablu. Did you have a question for me? Sorry, I don't know about any electors. You should take a moment to see our prize alpacas before you leave, though. Oh, but be sure to admire them from a respectable distance. But too close, and our nervous starlings may be tempted to spit on you. That stinks. It happened to a visiting buyer not so long ago. Dobley, the head rancher, was so mad at me for not giving a proper warning. No one makes a mistake without Dobley noticing. He knows everything that happens on this ranch. So we need to find Tobley then. You really have to watch yourself around these silver-tongued peddlers. I almost bought a bottle of mezcal, a stack of blankets, and then there was this enchanting ornament. Anyway, I did manage to learn that Tobley is the man to talk to about the contest. Now, if only they'd share where this head ledger of theirs is to be found. Really? He's also the head rancher? Well, the Alpaca ranch is not far from here. I say we paid a visit before the others return. That is a lot of alpacas. Still, we know the head ledger could be here somewhere. Can't let fear deter me. Not that I'm scared, of course. Excuse me, is one of these workers Tobil? Tobley? Tobley? Oh yes, he likes to mingle with the ranch hands and keep an eye on things. I can't tell you which one he is, though. You can't? Is this part of the contest? All I can say is that Tobley often mentions his favorite pungent substance. Also can't resist a profitable trade. Though, who among us could, am I right? Still, if you bring him a very good deal, he might let his identity slip. So it's like a game. Easy enough. All I have to do is offer Tobley a deal he can't ignore. No problem at all. Well, maybe one problem. I don't think my purse is deep enough to pay everyone we think might be Tobley. Let's ask some questions first to narrow down the field. Great! We can meet back here and share impressions. Well, I'm obviously not Tobley. I mean, oops, I shouldn't have said that. Meant to find out for yourself who Tobley is. Or if an elector is even in the village at all. Good luck! You think I might be Tobley? Well, maybe I am. All I will say is that, in this village, None have reared more alpaca than I. Am I Dobley? Yes, it's me. Excellent work on the third promise and her entourage. Sharp instincts. Shall we commence the rite of succession then? I visited there from across the salt, if I'm not mistaken. Warned, the alpacas will spit if you startle them. I suggest you keep your movements slow and deliberate. I see we're both done with our interrogations. So who do you think it is? I have my suspicions, but let's see your pick. I think the diligent one? That's my guess. The worker so intent on stable chores. Had my eye on that one too. And to rip off the mask of our mystery ranch hand, so to speak. We know it's you, Tobley, and to prove it, I propose a deal. A generous sum of coin for confirmation of your true identity. An offer I gladly accept. As you have correctly guessed, I am indeed Tobley, head ledger of Wokonpello and head rancher of the family ranch. I am also one of Gulul Jaja's chosen electors. Aha! And a place featured in the Tulial saga, just as we thought. I was right to trust in your instincts, and I wager this won't be the last time. She found you out fair and square, Tobley. Glad she did. Would have been a pity to hand. Would have been a pity had her bit ended here.
Deducing the Dawnservant's elector was the first step of the feat. Too simple a task for this aspiring ruler, eh?
Right. Not hard at all.
Jojo's menacing.
Zorolja.
I am told the head ledger, Tobley, is to be found here.
You have to guess which one of us is Tobley. That's part of the test.
You're Tobley.
Without even asking a single question. Very impressive indeed. With that amusing prologue out of the way, we can proceed to the actual challenge. Per the Dawnservant's instructions, I was free to devise any manner of feat. I considered a number of possibilities in the 10th column. But I think I have a good one. You must go forth and capture for me an alpaca.
Uh-oh.
While I've not had the best experiences with alpacas, aren't they generally docile creatures? That doesn't sound like much of a challenge.
Bring out the example! This is a special kind of alpaca. Would you please approach the animal, Third Promise?
Who? Me? Well, it should stay calm if I stay calm, right? That's what Erinville said.
But I can sense your fear.
Ah! The little monster spat on me! Ah, that stinks! I can't.
Oh dear.
Alpacas are paradoxical creatures, being both extremely curious and extremely cowardly. Press your luck when they're frightened, and you'll get a face full of spit, as you've all just witnessed. Has an awful stench, their expectoration. The globs contain half-digested food, you see, making it an effective deterrent against perceived threats.
Wild valley breed like this one are especially timid and can therefore be quick to lash out. They're also especially hardy.
Indeed. We take the rugged wild alpacas and breed them with our gentle domesticated stock. This produces the strong but biddable pack animals prized by our traveling merchants.
That's all well and good, but did I need to bathe an alpaca spit for you to make your point?
So, the task is to catch a wild alpaca.
That is correct. But be warned that it is a feat easier said than done. I suggest you prepare well before you enter the valley where the creatures dwell. And by you, I mean the claimants only. Allies are not permitted to assist with the catching. The alpacas will help me judge which of you is worthy of receiving a keystone.
So I'm to chase down a fluffy, spitting demon, and that somehow proves I'm fit to rule?
As I said, the Dawn Servant granted me the freedom to decide my challenge. And when you reach the end of the rite, I dare say you will understand why I chose what I chose.
Very well. This won't take long.
Wait! Didn't I warn you this was easier said than done? There are preparations to be made, factors to consider.
A beast is a beast. All yield to strength.
So far, this experience has done absolutely nothing to improve my opinion of alpacas. But that doesn't mean I can't do this. Revolting spit aside, they're just another animal.
Are you all right, Orclamart? We thought we heard you scream.
The third promise does not scream. It was more of a startled yelp.
A startled yelp, that sounds like...
Scream, in other words.
Yep.
Did you find the Elector?
Oh, we certainly did.
I had to go and wash the nasty stuff off my face. I think I cut it all off. But would you mind taking a sniff for me, just to make sure this stench has ruined my sense of smell? Hey, I saw that look. As Woklamont has demonstrated, helped demonstrate, the Valley Alpacas are wary of people. Getting close enough to catch one will not be an easy task. You might have warned me about that earlier. I have enough trouble with tame alpacas. How do you expect me to wrangle a wild one? With the proper saddle, we infuse the leather with a relaxing scent that soothes the spitting beast. Wonderful. Give me one of those then. Have you perhaps forgotten we are a clan of merchants? You want a taming saddle? Then you'll need to find a saddler and make them an offer. They don't come cheap, of course. Crafting a saddle will cost you equivalent of 10 pel in the thousands column. You mean 10,000 pel? I don't have that kind of coin. According to Gil, it comes to around 1 million or so. After if we all pitch in... No, this is my feat to accomplish. You wouldn't feel right about having others pay the cost. I'll find the money, somehow. In that case... That basket of wool is worth the sum you paid me earlier. 1 pel in the hundreds column. Beginning with the wool, you can trade for ever more valuable goods until you have something suitable to bargain with. What's that? That's a nice gesture. But do you think I can turn 100 pel into 1 million? 10,000 times more! That's 10,000 times more. We need 10,000 pel, not 1 million. We need 10,000 pel, not 1 million. So we're looking at 100 times more. Oh, right. I panicked and got it confused with Alphino's million gil. I'm not so sure about this trading idea. You're almost talked into buying a cloak you didn't need for mere moments after you arrived. But I hate it when you're right. And let me help you with your deal making. Oh, hello again. Mablu. I work here as a ranch hand, but I've also learned a lot about the peddler profession. If it's alright if I aid them now, yes? I guided the claimants toward the first step of the feat like you asked. As long as Wuknamat goes alone to capture her alpaca, she is free to accept assistance from whomever she likes. Hooray! Let's see about getting you that saddle then, Third Promise. I don't know why you made your offer, but I could use an ally with a beak for bargains. Welcome aboard, Mablu. Should the rest of us stay behind, perhaps? It may be easier to haggle over prices without so many voices chiming in. Yeah, stay here and pitch in with the bench work. With Mablu gone, I'll need extra hands to tend to the alpaca. Gladly. With Valzen, I think you should go with Wuklamont. You've seen markets and bazaars the world over, and surely have sage advice to share. I think it would be funny if we brought Alphino with us too. In that case, you should also hold on to the alpaca wool. Misplaced or soiled in some way, you'd have nothing to bargain with. As if I do such a thing, but to leave the wool of Valzen anyway. Better to keep my hands free. begin, I suggest we try trading the wool to Havli, the saddler. He won't agree to the deal, of course, but it'll give us an idea how much he'll accept for his wares. I really think we should have bring Alphino in on this. Just based on his prior experience with merchants. And how much? My newest mount. And has quickly become one of my favorites. Behold, Eden Ramu! Here I am on his back. And I'm peeking out from him like this. Look at it, it's so cool. Alright, I'll get back on track. I do think it would have been interesting to have Alphino come along with us on this, because if you remember how terrible he was with money buying Gosetsu's sword back. Like, at the very, like, this kind of situation is the kind of thing that Tataru would live for. Going up in height. Something I can do for you. We come to... Dormammu, we come to bargain. Sorry. I need one of your special taming saddles to catch a wild alpaca. A saddle, is it? And how will you pay for it? This basket of fine alpaca wool. What does a saddle maker have for wool? What use does a saddle maker have for wool? Besides, this would barely cover the cost of a single strap buckle. Offer me something I actually want. And what might that be? Mezcal. I like to nurse a cup at day's end when I inspect my finished work. Bring me a jug of quality stuff, and you've got yourself a deal. Well, this bodes well for us, said Promise. Such mezcal can only be had for only 5 pel in the thousands column. Hold on. Did you say third promise? Numbers change. The saddle's going to cost you a jug of premium mezcal. Aged 3 years at least. 3 years? That stuff is already at the 10,000 pel or more. You doubled the price. Because I must support the man of ambition. The man of ambition who will see my business prosper. Thoralja will go to war, and his cavalry will need saddles. Lots of saddles. It's nothing personal, Third Promise. But I won't sell you my craft for anything less than my asking price. Says the man who's biased. I can't say that I blame him. I'm known for championing peace, and peace is unlikely to bring him more customers. Those of our grandparents' generation remember the dark days when the clans were at war. Many of these Pelu pray for your victory, Wuklamat. The younger ones, though, to them, strife and bloodshed are as child's stories. They think themselves safe from these horrors and take the peace we now enjoy for granted. Still, others are unsatisfied with this quiet prosperity and crave the future the Second Promise envisions. They've become obsessed with the innovations like the dirigibles that have made trade swift and easy. Then you have those like Havli, convinced that the First Promise's plans for conquests will afford them opportunities for great profit. But what about you? Mablu? Aren't you the one? Aren't you the younger generation? At least a year or two younger than me, I'd say. Oh, yes. I was raised on the old tales. I memorized the accounts of what it was like when the Yaqui ruled our village. That's why I offered to help. I want you to become Dawn Servant, to keep our nation from going back to the way it was. Well then, I guess I'd better make sure I win the contest. But the type of mezcal the Troublemaker wants is so very expensive. Weren't we expecting to need 10,000 pel from the outset? Nothing's changed. We just need to get on with it. I may have had a head for trade, or I may not have a head for trade or a stomach for alpacas, but I won't give up on the piece of Tuliolol with the piece of Tuliolol on the line. And neither will I. We will make you Dawn Servant. Aiming for that 10,000 pel right away will only bring us failure and frustration. So let's try exchanging the wool for anything even a touch more valuable. The trick is to find someone who needs alpaca wool and is willing to trade at a loss to acquire it. Someone who supports your bid for the throne, for instance. There was that weaver we passed by. Of course, the weaver! Volnok was his name, I believe. He went out of his way to say he agreed with my vision, and he was here to buy wool. I think I remember the direction he was going. But for now, let's head back to the road to see where we first met him. The spot at the Volnok talked to us, he walked off to the south. And he was probably going to Ikuvalo's Inn. Most visitors in Wokampello end up staying there. Let's go and check, shall we? I think I might be confusing my Wokalamont voice with the Pelupelu voice. Can I have the basket, Alvin? Thanks! Now let's see if I can turn a profit. Well, look, I'm glad we found you. Are you interested in making a trade? But promise, you wish to do business with me? Might I ask what this is about? All about? I see. So the goal is to turn that basket of wool into a jug of 3-year-old premium mezcal? Then allow me to invest in your efforts. Peace in Toral is what allows me to cross freely into lands of high suppliers. Naturally, I would prefer that one pledge to preserve that peace with the throne. Thus do I humbly offer you this wool poncho. Small token that I pray contributes to your victory. Oh, that's fine craftsmanship. A garment like that would easily fetch 5 pel in the hundreds column. It's very generous, Volnok. Thank you. I promise I won't let you down. I have every faith in your promise. May fortune bless your future deals. I can't believe you quadrupled your investment with your first deal. Brought to a spectacular start. Only because Valden remembered our weaver friend. All I did was hand over the wool. Not true. The connections you build with people are vital. This is one of the most fundamental precepts of trading. One which you've instinctively mastered. You think so? I know so. Now let's take our 500 pel poncho and trade it for something even more valuable. Here, Valzen, you take the poncho. If I lost it somehow, Airville will never let me hear the end of it. All set? Our next deal is waiting to be found. My voice is still coming through. Yep, it is good. We're doing one of these. Leveraging connections is a sound strategy, but we should also consider supply and demand. An individual in urgent need of a good poncho will offer more than a merchant simply looking to stock his shelves. That makes sense. But how do we know if someone needs a poncho? They aren't wearing one. That's the obvious answer, isn't it? We look for a person without a poncho and hope they are eager to buy ours. Yes, there you go. We find the demand for our supply. So, where should we begin our search for prospective buyers? There are any number of places, but we could do worse than starting right here at the inn. There might be interested travelers. Who needs the poncho? A lot of Mamulja hardly wear anything to begin with. It's snowing. Also probably Landguard or sellswords. The who soldier for a living prefer not to wear much above the waist. It hampers their movement. So, even if they have bad shoulders, Mamulja carrying arms can be struck off the list. Mamulja's armed. Could be a double courier? I've seen them flying their wheelbase. And those types aren't fond of excessive clothing either. Let's see, no coat or cloak, but also no weapon? Oh, we might have a winner! Hold there, friend. You're not a mercenary by trade, right? Curious about your bold choice of dress, or lack thereof. Oh, it was no choice of mine, believe me. I was attacked by beasts on the way here. I barely escaped with my scales intact. My coat was not so lucky. I'm actually a toolmaker from Tuliolol, and was dressed quite smartly. All the better to show the All the better to show the Pelu I am a man who takes pride in his appearance, and therefore his work as well, but now look at me. Well, sir, this is your lucky day. How about this? What a splendid poncho! This would be a perfect replacement for the coat I lost. I'd be willing to part with it, if you'd like to make a trade. For one of your fine tools, perhaps? What about this hatchet? I crafted it myself, and will vouch for its quality. The blade looks sharp, the haft well made. I valued it 1 in the thousands column. Oh, from 500 to 1,000? We have a deal. Wonderful. A fine garment such as this should put me on even footing with any Pelu merchant. Like the eponymous owner of Miplu's mate garden, for one. Her field hands use hatchets to harvest the mate. I am thought to impress her with the tool I sold you. No matter, I have other wares to sell. Glad I am to have met you. Did you hear that? Hooray, found the next buyer. To Miplu's mate garden we go. Yes, but it's a fair distance on foot. We should take alpacas. These ones will be the calm type, right? Alright. I know here it's pronounced mate. Like Choto mate. Oh wait. Not done recognizing the toolmaker as a potential customer. You don't mind to change professions? You make an excellent merchant. Oh, trust me. I'm selling shit. Before we get going, you should be the one to hold this. With that, I suppose we should hop on the alpacas Mablu has so kindly provided. Ready to go? Let's mount up. And it's off to the Mate fields we go. Please don't spit, please don't spit. You'll be fine. These ones are accustomed to people. I still don't trust them. You have a knack for riding, no matter what you say. Without our alpaca friends, we Pelu would never have become traveling merchants. Can you imagine walking all the way across Toral? I swear that mountain is too tall to be real. Orcors or more? Was that the name? A forbidding sight, isn't it? One I've never appreciated up close. You have to take the long way around the cliffs to get there. Islands belonging to the Yakri. So, Mablu, you said you were learning about the peddler profession. You don't care for ranch work? No, I love it. I love working with alpacas. But becoming a peddler has always been a dream of mine. It's just, I'm not sure I have the talent for it. If I can help you buy the taming saddle, though, then it might be proof that I can do this after all. In that case, you best get ready to become a merchant. Look, we're almost there. No to cactar. Not a cactar. We made it, without a single smelly incident. I sent the alpacas back into Ikavalol's inn. We'll walk along the main road when we return to the village. Speaking of roads to travel, you were adopted by the Dawn servants. Weren't you, Dawn Third Promise? That I was. And perhaps you understand, I was an orphan too, you see. Totally took me in. He took in all the ranch hands, actually. All of them? Yes, and everyone works hard at their chores, grateful for the opportunity to repay the head ledger's generosity. Yet here I am, the only one wanting to go off and be a merchant. What's wrong with that? I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm telling you this. You need to keep trading things for your saddle if you're to prepare for the feat of gold. As it's Mate harvesting season, they can't have too many quality hatchets. That will Clamat's way with people, and we should have no trouble making a favorable deal. That's Miplu herself over there. That's the hatchet for the Third Promise, and let's get to bargaining. You have the little axe for me? Thanks. out to see what we can get for it. You're Miplu, the owner of these fields? I have a mind to trade if you're interested. Well, well, the third promise. I might be convinced to entertain a proposal. What do you have on offer? This hatchet, forged by a seasoned artisan. The razor edge of this exceptional tool will make light work of your crops. The quality is acceptable, I suppose. I offer you a large stack of mate leaves in exchange. A stack of mate leaves is valued at 1 pel in the thousands column. The same price as the hatchet. This deal would bring us no closer to the mezcal. If I may, Mistress Miplu, it's harvesting season, is it not? Does not the demand for hatchets afford them a higher value? It is indeed the season, which is why I procured an ample bunch of tools well in advance. You've missed the window for demand. In that case, we have to fall back on connections. Think of it this way, a generous deal here will put you in the third promise's good graces. Surely that's worthy of consideration. I do not wish to give offense, but I must tell you that I stand with the second promise. These innovations will improve every aspect of our lives, and I believe, including farming. And will no longer have need of hatchets. I assure you that I have nothing but respect for Wooklamot. That's why I'm prepared to purchase the spare hatchet at a fair price. I suppose it is fair, given your reasons. We ourselves would be no better off for the transaction. How about this then? If we were to help bring in your harvest, would you give us a better deal? As a matter of fact, I would. Until Kona reforms come about, I can always use more hands in the field. Then you can go ahead and add our labor to the bargain. Added value to tipping the scales. Forgotten one of the most basic rules of trading. You can rest here if you like, Model. Hansen and I have mate together. Oh no, I'm helping too! Off to the fields then, and mind you pick the healthy leaves. I'll take 5 good bundles from each of you. Talking so much is getting a little exhausting. But I'm determined to see this area through. You brought me some leaves then? Acceptable harvest. Let's see how your companions fared before I make any decisions, though. Here, we've brought our share as well. Thank you, Third Promise. This is more than enough to hold up your end of the bargain. Now it's time to honor mine. After adding the value of your labor to the price of a hatchet, I'm prepared to offer you a full sack of our highest grade mate leaves. Premium mate! Bought at the shop, 1 sack of those leaves costs no less than 5 pel in the thousands column. Then we can bid farewell to this hatchet. I'll give it a good home. Put the contest aside, I'm glad we could come to a mutually agreeable trade. As am I. All the best with the rest of your harvest. Marblu, what's wrong? As I was saying before, even after everything Tobli's done for me, I'm planning to abandon it all and become a merchant. But then I needed your help after forgetting a basic rule of trade. I didn't expect Tobli to accept my decision then. So you intend to give up then? I can't. After getting a taste of real trading, I want to become a merchant more than ever. Then you'll just have to be honest. I seek to follow in my father's footsteps, but not because he expects it of me. I want to preserve Toral's peace, and becoming Dawn Serpent happens to be the best way to do it. You should live a life of your own choosing, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tobli held the same opinion, so talk to him. You're right. Rather find out for sure than worry over what he might say. Thank you for the advice. But first, we have a saddle to buy. I want this success under my belt so I can be sure of my decision. What's next? We can try to trade our tea leaves for something halfway to 10,000 hell. No, I think we're close enough. I say we go straight for the premium mezcal. Bargain our way into double the value, eh? Think we can do it? Trust me, I will make this trade work. I admire you for a promise. You're holding your own against such strong competition for the throne is inspiring. Am I really holding my own against Kauna and Zaralcha? I mean, of course I am. I'm Muklamat of the Thorn's Promise, after all. It's okay to be insecure. It's okay to be insecure, Muklamat. Trust me, I've been. Before we go, let me give you the mate leaves. I don't need to risk provoking Aaronville's point. Ready then? Our next stop is the Mezcal Distillery. We'll walk the street with a man by the name of Gobly. Even among his fellow distillers, he is regarded as a master of the craft. He knows the value of his product, so if we're to convince him to trade for twice what the leaves are worth, we're going to need targeted information. That means asking around and taking in the gossip. If you could talk to people here in the distillery, Valvin, perhaps Lamont could do the same at the village entrance. Well, I'll head to the north side and see what I can learn. chef from Tuliolo. I often come here to buy Gobley's mezcal, the finest in Taral, according to my customers. He always brings out a jug during our dealings, but I can't handle the stuff too well myself. I take small sips, not wanting to be impolite, you understand, but still end up so idle as to agree to whatever price he quotes me. It would be nice to have less, potent refreshments during such conversations. Else I might have to seriously reconsider our arrangement. There's not much I can say about Gobley, but I can tell you what Gobley's been saying. The other day he was muttering about monsters prowling around Agave Jaws. That's the field where they gather ingredients for the mezcal. The princess has made it harder to procure said ingredients, and thus driven up the price of this product. A boon, some might argue, but it's hard to celebrate when it affects the work as it does. Can't rightly bring joy to people if you can't keep making the thing they love. A monster problem. Probably might be a deft hand at distilling, but he's got no sense when it comes to appearances. Rumor has it he's been invited to the palace for business negotiations. If he presents himself to the court wearing his usual rumpled attire, though, he'll be laps out of sun perch. So what did you find out? Oh, we can make use of all those tidbits. The deal is good as sealed. As for me, I found out where Gobley's working. It's the millstone at the top of the slope behind the distillery. I'm going ahead and I'll bring Wolflamat. You'll have business with me, sir. Don't talk down so as not to distract the alpacas from his work. From the alpaca from his work. Now, what's this about? Keep it brief if you would, I'm a busy man. We're in the market for a 3-year-old jug of premium mezcal. Assuming you have any on hand, that is. Ah, an excellent choice. I must warn you, though. We don't have petal, but we can offer a sack of mate leaves in exchange. It's all great stuff like the mezcal. No deal. Mate leaves are well and good, but I don't have any use for them. Oh, deal? Just like that? Still, I'd hate to send you away, Eddie. Why don't we sit down and chat a while over a cup of mezcal? Now the real bargaining begins. Which of our cards do you want to play first? Perhaps a distaste for strong drink? I appreciate your hospitality, but I'm afraid I can't hold my drink. But one of your regular customers, a Hubigobo chef, is the same. Seeing as how not everyone can enjoy mezcal, I wonder if you might benefit from having other refreshments to offer. Something like mate tea, for instance, and brewed from the finest leaves, of course. Ah, you're right, absolutely right. I noticed a growing reluctance on the part of my Hubigobo friend. I did not realize I myself was to blame. I must endeavor to be a better host. Still, even with that added value in mind, no sack of leaves is worth the mezcal you're after. Should we opt to call the monsters, causing them trouble? Not yet. Not yet. We'll keep that card up our sleeve until we need it. We're of the same mind, me and Blue. As I expect you are aware, the rite of succession is currently taking place. That's why the third promise has graced us with her presence. When the contest is decided, the subsequent ascension ceremony and banquet will be a prestigious affair. In Mesca, all were to be served there, it would bring your distillery immeasurable fame. Wait, would it be that your rumored invitation to the palace is to discuss that very possibility? As a matter of fact, yes. I must admit, I'm still reeling from the abruptness of it all. It would be a great honor and opportunity if I can secure the deal. Well, I should think your exceptional mescal would speak for itself. That said, there's no such thing as being too prepared. The first impressions last. You'll want to be wearing your very best when you walk into Volok Shun's side. It would be such a shame to miss the chance of a lifetime simply for want of proper garments. Does look a little dull. That it would. Are you saying you have garments to offer? Something ideal for the cause? We have no garments on hand, I'm afraid, but we can provide you with the next best thing. An introduction to a weaver. His name is Bolnok, and his works are highly regarded in Tulioli. As a supporter of Woklamat and keen observer of palace politics, he will doubtless be happy to guide you in the selection of an outfit to fit his golden occasion. Wait, damn it, I skipped one. As a supporter of Woklamoth and keen observer of palace politics. Oh wait, no, I didn't. That is certainly a tempting proposal, and one of which I would like to take full advantage, but the scales still aren't quite. Now we play the monster card. Say, weren't there monsters running amok in Agov Oz? That's a problem we could easily solve for you. Truly? I'd be most grateful for your immediate assistance. I was assigned to hiring cell swords to clear them out. Factoring that saved expense, and an introduction to a trusted weaver, this is shaping up to a sound bargain. Alright, you have a deal. Yes, I knew you'd come around. Give us a moment, and Velzen and I will take care of those prowling nuisances. In the meantime, I'll use the time-dependent introductory letter to Bolnok. The fields you are looking for are just north of Wokompello. Be safe. They're about to enter the Viper Pit. That should be Agov Jaws, just over there. This will go faster if we split up. Come and find me once you've finished clearing out your share of the pests. Welcome to the Viper Pit. Compared to the creatures I hunted with Papa, this was no challenge at all. Come on, let's head back to the distillery. All that's left is to give Mablu the sack of leaves so she can seal the deal. Those monsters will have no trouble for you. Now, if I could just have the sack of leaves. Thank you for looking after our precious trading goods. Your monster problem has been resolved, Master Hobley. Here are the mate leaves and a written introduction to Bom Nook as agreed. Bless me. Then the deal is done. Here. Your jug of Premier Mezcal, aged 3 years. Please accept it with my compliment. Yes, we finally have the Mezcal. Well, great work, especially you, Mablu. You were the one who inspired me to come this far with our promise. Let's not celebrate until we have the sapple in hand. Mablu, is it? You drive a hard bargain, young peddler. I look forward to doing business with you in the future. Thank you, but truth be told, I'm just a ranch hand. For now, should I ever become a proper merchant though, I'll be back to strike more deals with you. Even at the palace, I don't think I've held a 10,000 pound jug of anything before. My hands won't stop shaking. Here, you better hold on to it until we get to the sound maker. Good. If you drop it, I'll kill you. Can you imagine if we dropped it and had to start all over again? No. Luckily, Hapley's place is not far. We just need to head across the plaza. Why do me and Mablu have the same brain cell right now? Or at least a similar brain cell. Similar brain cells. This is it! The trade we've been working towards! Whew. Still in one piece. Right, time to make our deal. Get your tool ready, Saddler. We brought your precious mezcal. Wait, you actually got your hands on a jug? But you had nothing! A few measly clumps of wool! What we had was an aspiring trader with a gift for negotiation. Aw. Although I do not aid no claimant but Zoralja, cannot go against the guiding principles of the Pelu Pelu. The trade is a fair one. I'll craft your saddle, I promise. Great! Stay and wait if you like. I have all the requisite materials, so this won't take long. Your commission is ready. Catching a wild alpaca is never a simple affair, but you'll have an easier time with it, with one of my saddles. Now, if you don't mind, I have other work that needs finishing. I can taste that smooth mezcal already. We did it! The saddle is ours! And to think we started out with only 100-pelt basket of alpaca wool. Mablu, you are going to be an incredible merchant. Thank you. It makes me so glad to hear you say that, I promise. We've got what we came for. Now let's return to the ranch. Others will be waiting. Success! You've acquired the saddle, then? Yes, and thanks in no small part to Mablu. Before you rush off to catch an alpaca, though, let me teach you how to saddle one. I'll bring out one of our wild-born friends so you can practice. I know, this is something I need to learn. Jojo's menacing. Great fucking gods, I did it! He hardly seemed bothered, much less inclined to spit. As if he was completely accepting of Woklamot's touch. It's because of the singular scent with which the saddle has been coated, alpacas find it very soothing. You know, I've never taken a good long look at one of you before, but you're actually kind of cute. You're only now noticing that? Zarolja's back. Zarolja, he's back. Oh, look at him with the sharp. Look at the shiny hunting. Nerd. Having exactly what he set out to do. And having done exactly what he said. What alpaca he brought. Is it just me or is it glowing? I've heard tales of such a beast. They say the golden alpaca lives a solitary existence deep in the valley, where it shuns the company of both man and its own kind. Doesn't even have a saddle. How did he manage to snare a prize like that? A beast knows its betters. Faced with overwhelming strength, it will yield rather than risk death. An illustration of how greatly the power of the first promise exceeds yours, Woklamot. Strength alone won't win him our father's throne. I'll be the one to find the Golden City, and then Toral can remain at peace. An everlasting desire for peace can only be forged in the fires of war. To unite as one, the people must be taught. They must suffer the horror and the hopelessness firsthand. Exhaustion from prolonged conflict, the wages of war's merciless nature. These are what moved the clans to join in the founding of Tulialo all those years ago. to the younger generations of the village. Since birth they have passed in unbroken harmony, and behold, they regard war not as tragedy but opportunity. Thus does the resilient son seek to provide education. He offers much needed lessons in the realities of conquest and a renewed appreciation for peacetime. 'Tis true that war's misery breeds a longing for peace. But I've seen with my own eyes what becomes of an empire forged through the violence you propose, the rebellions it spawned, and the ruins it left behind. The Garlean Empire was a congregation of simpletons. And yet more technologically advanced than you. The oppressed fought back against their oppressors, as well they should. Men are not beasts. Only a fool would seek to rule over all with the threat of force alone. This is why Guru Jaja did not elevate the Mamuja, where he treated all clans with equal respect. However, the first promise has his gaze fixed upon more distant horizons. He would unite not only Tuliolo, but the star in its entirety. No, he won't. What? Why? I do not need to. I need not explain myself to you. Oh, well done. Well done indeed. The first promise is complete the feats of gold with an appropriately golden flourish. May I present to you your much-deserved keystone. He's always been like that, never sharing his innermost thoughts with me or even with Corona. It's like we're not even family. I'll ponder Zoralja and its mysteries later. Right now I need to think about finishing the feats of gold. I have my saddle. I practice how to use it. So lead on to where the wild alpacas roam. The valley of Orankanka is northwest of here. Come on, everyone. Even if we can't enter ourselves, we can see Woklamat off on her hunt. I want Woklamat to hold my Lalafell like a teddy bear. I'm just saying. I can do this. I know I can. Oh, I finally have my voice have a break now.
Good luck, that promise!
Okay, good.
Thanks. I'll need it. Truth be told, still not sure about alpacas. I'd rather not go near one if I can help it. But if I'm to rule this nation, then I'll need to learn how to live with them. Tural is their home too. Right. I'm off.
So, shall we head back to the ranch, or...?
I'm staying here.
As will I. Woklamat is alone in this. The least we can do is stand watch and await her return.
may be a while yet. Help me pitch the tent.
Trust a gleaner to come prepared for anything.
What's a gleaner?
Someone whose job it is to travel the world and procure uncommon things for their employers. Erenville specializes in finding animals, I believe.
But aren't you a Shitona from Shaktural? Why did you cross the salt?
When I was much younger, the thought of leaving Tural never even occurred to me. But then, some years ago, my mentor tasked me with a difficult hunt. Something I could never find, she said, so long as I clung to the familiar. She suggested that I leave home, leave Tural, and join the Gleaners of Sharlian. As one of their number, I could experience the world, immerse myself in myriad cultures and customs, see the many faces of nature. And once I had learned what is truly important, I would find that which I seek. My younger self took those words to heart, and off I went to become a gleaner.
Her words alone moved you to leave behind everything you'd ever known? You must have great respect for your mentor.
As it happens, gleaner work was much to my liking, and I all but forgot why I had pursued it in the first place. Yet, events conspired to put me back on the trail I'd abandoned.
Wait, are you saying you were tasked with finding this city of gold?
I was. And though my hunt is now entangled with the rite of succession, I mean to see it through.
Well then, I understand completely. We all have our reasons for seeking the Golden City. Which is all the more reason for us to work together.
Just so.
She should have been back by now. What if something's happened to her? We need to tell Tobli and arrange a search party.
Wait. Do you hear that?
I did it!
You're utterly spent, and small wonder.
Well done, Third Promise.
The ranch isn't going anywhere. Take a rest in the tent.
I think I will. Thank you all for believing in me.
We're relieved the Third Promise came back to us safely. And the alpaca she tamed is a healthy-looking beast. Surely this will be enough to satisfy the feat of gold. Woklamat still seems a bit unsteady on her feet. Hardly surprising after she spent the night chasing alpacas. You know what will melt away fatigue like magic, though? Mate tea. Run to the wrench and get a pot brewing. Where you can take your time, and the tea will be ready when you arrive. As Mablu so wisely suggested, we shall set a slower pace for our exhausted third promise. You will. I remember how annoying it was to walk all the way through. No shame about flying. Come back ahead of the others, did you? Should hurry along with the tea, then. Well, Claude can't be that far behind. Oh, that tea really is magical. I feel better already. I see you've become comfortable around our fuzzy friends. Watching this one taught me a lot about alpacas. What grasses and fruits they eat, what sounds they react to, their adorable little quirks. I guess I've grown kind of fond of them. I'll come back, then, I promise. Accomplished the feat of gold, have you? Yes, there is no mistaking a valley alpaca. I commend you on your success. Well done. Yes, we did it! Although I couldn't find a shiny one like Zoralja did. I'd be surprised if you had. Golden alpaca are born once every few decades. They are elusive, solitary creatures that are rarely seen, much less captured, thanks to their innate physical and magical gifts. Only a single other person is known to have caught one before, that being Galul Jaja himself. Papa was chasing alpacas too? So my grandfather's stories say. It was before the founding of Tuliolol, in a time when the mountain giants of Yokwi held our people enthralled. Compelled by their overlords, our forebearers would ride their alpaca mounts to the highlands to deliver gifts of food and other tributes. Those were wretched days, to hear grandfather tell it. Then along came the young Galul Jaja, yet unburdened by the mantle of Dawntrail. Our people were amazed by his imposing two-headed figure, equal to the Yokwi in stature, and puzzled by his entourage of mismatched companions. Some trembled in fear, believing a new conqueror had come. Yet Galul Jaja showed no such inclinations. He sat and spoke with us, sipping from the cups of mate tea we offered him, and grew somber when he learned of our plight. None could have anticipated what their visitor decided to do next. Galul Jaja ascended the cliffs to face the giants and freed the Pelu Pelu from the Yokwi's subjugation. He then turned an appraising eye upon our raiders, and proposed we take to the road to peddle our beverages. The suggestion seemed obvious for one who traveled as he did, bent on fostering amity between the clans. So it was that a few words from Galul Jaja transformed us into a clan of itinerant merchants. I've never heard the bond Papa forged with the Pelu spoken of in that way before. Saga is not so detailed. Then you may not know that Gulul Jaja sought a sure-footed guide for his trek up the highland, into the highlands. Thus did he capture a golden alpaca. So both my brother and my father caught the rarest of creatures, while an ordinary one was the best I could manage. The feat required no more than that, Third Promise. You brought back a perfectly wonderful beast. Mablu's right. A perfectly wonderful beast. If anyone's ordinary, it's me. Oh. Not only did you accomplish the feat of gold, you also made many trades and brought joy to many people in true Pelu fashion. I sorely doubt your sibling could have achieved the same result. You should be proud of the accomplishments which earned you your keystone. Five more to go. You're well on your way, Third Promise. We'd have been lost without you, Mablu. Thanks to you, I've learned so much about the Pelu people and your customs. It might seem obvious, but I've come to realize the importance of properly knowing something. It was because I didn't understand alpacas that I was uncomfortable around them. I'm thankful to you as well, Wuklamat. You've given me the courage to say what I wasn't sure I could ever say. Tobli, I want to leave the ranch and become a merchant. Appreciate everything you've done for me, and I've loved every moment caring for the alpacas. But this is something I need to do. I need to walk my own path and make my own trades. As your parent, allow me to say one thing. I've always tried to give my wards lives filled with as much happiness as I could provide. Yet never once have I wanted to be the only happiness you knew. You have my blessing to walk any path you choose, Mablu. It gladdens me to hear you found a calling you wish to pursue with such passion. You will make an exceptional peddler. Sure of it. Thank you, Tobli. What did I tell you, Mablu? Here's one last thing I can help you with, Third Promise. You need to find the Golden City, right? That's the end goal. Then I suggest you talk to the Yaqui. They once ruled over far more than just Urkapacha and the Pelu Pelu. 1,000 years ago, they were the overlords of Yogg-Taral and all its people. During that era, the Pelu Pelu were commanded to search for a city of gold. They scoured every corner of the continent, but never found any trace of that fabled place. But if they didn't find anything, what could the Yaqui have to tell us? They may not have found it, but the fact that they thought to look for it at all makes me curious. Perhaps there's value in delving into how the legend originated? We lose nothing from asking the question. Besides, if we're determined to follow the path of the saga, we'll be visiting the giants eventually. Oh, Cryle, I have a question I've been meaning to ask since we finished with the feat. Why did you acquire that earring? My earring? Do you recognize it? Yes, pieces like that first became fashionable in Dawntrail around 20 years ago. Since then, it's become common to wear one as a charm for safe travel. 20 years ago, about the time my grandfather made his journey. Yet the Dawn Servant implied the earring was connected to the Golden City in some way. Surely there was more to its significance than simple fashion. If you want to know what first came to be crafted, I could try to find out. Seeing as it's a regular seller for many merchants, I'm curious to learn about it myself. I'd appreciate that very much. Thank you. Jumping feet first into the peddler business, eh, Moblu? Right then, that's 2 keystones down. I say we head back to Tuliolol and plan our next move. Farewell for now, and thanks for all your help. I will become Dawn Servant, so make sure you set aside your best mezcal for the occasion. She has a fearsome opponent in that brother of hers. He even brought a golden alpaca to heal. You've heard the Roja supporters talk. They see opportunity in his expansive ambitions. They find the man himself intimidating, terrifying even. Whereas I've grown to love Woklamat. When she meets, we'll come to love her too. That's why she'll win the throne. You might be right, Moblu. You might be right. Alright. I'll just finish up. I'll just head back to Tuliolol and then we can conclude the stream. Feels good to have defeated gold safely under our belt, even if my victory pales beside Zoralja and his shiny golden alpaca. I know I shouldn't let it bother me, and gods know you've all been so supportive. Want to be strong or rise like my brothers. Promise the people respect. Which is not likely if I stand here carrying on and on about things. Move on. Back to Ziburite with us. The contest has hardly begun. But you are one that worthy of respect. Because you're the social one. The social one, hun? The social culture one. The DK music. Sorry. Look at us! The contest has barely begun and we already have 2 keystones. Surely even my talented brothers aren't doing this well. We can only hope. Alright. And here's where I'm gonna conclude the stream. Thank you all for tuning in, those who decided to drop on by. Hope to have another one of these at least next week. Hopefully I'll have the strength needed to do some more streams in the future. But for any updates on that sort of thing, you can follow me on Blue Sky at Rippington. And yeah, for now and as always, until next time folks, see you later!